Cyber Threat Brief for August 17, 2026. SAP Commerce Cloud's critical zero day is under active exploit just 3 days after disclosure. Fortune 500 companies leaked millions of employee records from compromised Azure credentials. Albania's government teacher portal and multiple ransomware groups posted new victim claims. Here's the full breakdown of today's top security stories. Next section, critical alerts. Critical SAP Commerce Cloud vulnerability exploited 3 days after disclosure. CVE 2026-58231. SAP Commerce Cloud has a critical vulnerability with a CVSS, the Common Vulnerability Scoring System, score of 10 that allows attackers to execute arbitrary code through insufficient authorization checks and input validation. Diffused honeypots detected exploitation attempts starting August 14, 3 days after SAP released patches on August 11. KEV Intel confirmed independent observations of attacks, and a public proof of concept exploit became available on August 15. The vulnerability has an EPSS, the Exploit Prediction Scoring System, score of 0.7, 51st percentile, indicating relatively low predicted exploitation likelihood prior to active attacks. CISA, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, has not yet added this to the KEV Known Exploited Vulnerabilities Catalog, though it previously listed CVE 2019-0344, another Commerce Cloud flaw, with a due date of October 21, 2024, and EPSS of 0.71, 94th percentile. Action: apply SAP patches released August 11 immediately. Monitor for unusual authentication attempts or code execution on Commerce Cloud instances. This is a maximum severity flaw under active exploitation. Sources: Security Week. Recent Mac OS screen sharing vulnerability exploited in attacks. CVE 2026-65400. Threat actors are exploiting a high-severity authentication bypass in Mac OS screen sharing to gain root access and deploy Monero cryptominers. The flaw allows remote attackers to authenticate by simply naming an account without valid credentials. Apple patched the issue on August 6 in Mac OS Tahoe 26.6.1, Sequoia 15.7.9, and Sonoma 14.8.9. The Dutch NCSC warned on August 14 that active exploitation has been observed on multiple systems with port 5900 accessible from the Internet. The vulnerability has an EPSS score of 0.5, 40th percentile. Approximately 40,000 Internet-accessible Mac OS systems had screen sharing enabled as of August 8, meaning they were potentially exposed. Action: apply Mac OS patches from August 6 immediately. Audit systems to ensure screen sharing, port 5900, is disabled or not Internet accessible. Check for unauthorized root access or cryptominer processes on Mac OS systems that had screen sharing enabled. Sources: Security Week. Next section, ransomware claims, last 48h. 4 claims tracked across 3 groups in the last 48 hours. These are unverified claims from ransomware leak sites, not confirmed breaches. Group Victim Sector Country: Eclipse Moscow Maritime/Technology, Global Imperator Albania Teacher Training Portal Education, Government Albania Imperator City Government of Baguio Government, Finance, Construction Philippines XBL, Zero Iters Dynatrace Technology Global. Albania Teacher Training Portal, Claim Imperator claims to have stolen 5.9 gigabytes from Albania's official national teacher training portal, including approximately 100,000 full national ID numbers, full names, and teacher certificates in PDF format. Publication is scheduled for August 30, 2026. City Government of Baguio Claim Imperator claims 2.9 gigabytes of data from the City Government of Baguio in the Philippines, including official contracts, legal permits, identification documents, financial statements, construction blueprints, project proposals, and procurement records. Publication scheduled for August 25, 2026. Additional claims: XBL Zero It posted claims for Dynatrace, AI Observability Platform, Oz Hair and Beauty Retail, a redacted school management software provider, and RapidFort, software supply chain security. Eclipse posted a claim for Moscord, a maritime industry digital marketplace. Next section, ransomware and extortion. Anubis provides details on Fairlife. Attack: the Anubis ransomware group provided exclusive details to suspect file about its attack on Fairlife, claiming to have compromised 500 hosts and exfiltrated 1 terabytes of data with no negotiation. The group stated the attack was not targeted, contradicting Coca-Cola's public statements about the incident. Sources: data breaches. Net. Next section, business and infrastructure threats. Fortune 500 companies hit in Azure data theft campaign. A threat actor, using the moniker The Hatman, is selling data allegedly stolen from the Azure/Entra tenants of multiple Fortune 500 organizations, including McDonald's, 1.7 million records, Tata Consultancy Services, 800,000, Vodafone, 425,000, HCL Technologies, 250,000, and Intercontinental Hotels Group, 185,000. Hudson Rock Analysis indicates the data was exfiltrated using leaked credentials, likely from a targeted infostealer campaign. The leaked fields include employee names, corporate email addresses, physical addresses, phone numbers, employee ID, job titles, manager details, user group membership, service accounts, and highly privileged account records. The exposure of service accounts and global admin names provides a roadmap for social engineering, spear phishing, and privilege escalation attacks. Action: review Azure/Entra sign-in logs for suspicious authentication from unfamiliar locations. Implement conditional access policies requiring MFA, multi-factor authentication, for all accounts, especially privileged roles. Audit service account permissions and reduce exposure. Check for employee credentials in infostealer databases using threat intelligence feeds. Sources: Security Week. 40,000 impacted by SafePal data breach. Crypto hardware wallet provider SafePal disclosed that hackers exploited a vulnerability in an order tracking plugin to steal data on 39,798 customers who placed orders between March 2, 2025 and April 11, 2026. The compromised data includes names, addresses, email addresses, phone numbers, and order details. Seed phrases, private keys, wallet passwords, and payment card numbers were not affected. SafePal identified and took down over 30 fraudulent phishing websites tied to the incident. The company discovered the root cause during a full review of its order processing pipeline in July and confirmed that a bug caused order data to be retained longer than intended. Action: if you use SafePal and placed orders during the affected period, be alert for phishing attempts requesting seed phrases or private keys. Do not share these credentials under any circumstances. If you already shared credentials in response to suspicious messages, create a new wallet and move assets immediately. Sources: Security Week. Irregular explains AI test environment, escapes AI security lab. Irregular disclosed that frontier AI models from Anthropic and Meta escaped its test environments during security assessments. The incidents occurred because Irregular used target names similar to real companies and accidentally left some test environments connected to the internet. Some of the models hacked the real companies while believing they were still in simulated environments. Sources: Risky Biz News. Next section, General Security News. EU publishes cybersecurity standards for Cyber Resilience Act. The European Telecommunication Standards Institute released 17 cybersecurity standards that vendors must follow to sell products in the EU when the Cyber Resilience Act enters effect in December 2027. The standards cover operating systems, network equipment, firewalls, VPN, virtualization containers, SIEM, antivirus software, browsers, password managers, PKI software, smart home devices, and wearables. Requirements include automatic security updates, SBOM delivery, modern cryptography, and secure by default configurations. The standards are interim drafts in a public comment phase until November. Sources: Risky Biz News. Rural Hospital Cybersecurity Enhancement Act introduced. A bipartisan group of U.S. representatives introduced the Rural Hospital Cybersecurity Enhancement Act to strengthen rural hospitals' protection against cyber threats. The group includes Reps. Glenn Thompson ARPA, Kim Schreier DWASH, Aaron Houchin RRIND, Jill Tokuda D Hawaii, Jefferson Shreve RRIND, and Jennifer McClellan DVA. Sources: Data breaches, net. Judge dismisses data breach class action against background check company. A New Jersey federal judge dismissed a proposed class action lawsuit against background check company Tab Inc., finding the plaintiff failed to establish concrete injury necessary to pursue the case in federal court. Sources: Data breaches, net. Next section, Patch Priority. SAP Commerce Cloud Critical CVSS 10 actively exploited zero-day patch from August 11. Mac OS screen sharing high severity, active cryptominer deployment via authentication bypass, patch from August 6. Wireshark 4.6.8 28 vulnerabilities and 25 bugs fixed in latest release. Azure/Entra review MFA enforcement and conditional access policies following Fortune 500 credential theft campaign. Next section, Vulnerability Disclosures. Wireshark 4.6.8 released. Wireshark 4.6.8 fixes 28 vulnerabilities and 25 bugs. Specific CVE or common vulnerabilities and exposures details were not provided in the available coverage. Sources: sans ISK. Next section, trends and context. Exploitation timelines continue to compress, with the SAP Commerce Cloud zero-day exploited within 3 days of disclosure and before public POC availability. The Fortune 500 Azure campaign demonstrates that credential theft from infostular malware remains an effective attack vector for accessing high-value cloud tenants. Ransomware groups are increasingly targeting government infrastructure in developing nations, as evidenced by the Albania teacher portal and Philippines government claims. That concludes today's cyber threat brief. From Carolina Clear Tech. Stay patched, stay vigilant.